Jay Bills from Media Spotlight UK, and I'm here with the one and only Warren the Mechanic Spencer in the building. Looking lavish, might I say. I mean, you got the Versace going on. What's going on with you, sir?
Thank you, brother, and thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. Just had a little chill out in the back garden there. I've got a little sauna and an ice bath in the back garden, so
Okay.
religiously I get in there, have a chill after training, and then now here chatting to you wonderful people. So again, thank you for having me.
What's your mug saying? It says like over 9,000. What's your mug saying?
That says it's over 9,000, as in power level. I don't know if you watch Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I don't watch Dragon Ball Z, but I noticed within your boxing attire last time that it was Dragon Ball Z inspired. Like, I guess you're a heavy fan of anime.
Yeah, and you're going to see a lot more of it in this fight next weekend as well, brother. We've got a full Super Saiyan outfit for the ring walk ready to go, so it's going to be
Wow.
fantastic. Yeah, but Dragon Ball has got a place in my heart ever since I was a young kid, so we bring it into the fight game with us naturally. Because what is it? It's all about fighting, right?
Of course, of course. I mean, they were fighting, you're fighting, and it all goes hand in hand, mate. So it looks like
one Hundred
there's a
percent.
lot of powers that are bringing to be with your energy that you're bringing.
Thank you, brother.
Well, I mean, let's get straight to it then. Obviously, your pro debut last time with Aaron
Mm.
Chalmers. I mean, what a fight it was. I mean, it was a pretty clean fight. I was expecting like a all out war, but like for your first pro fight, I mean, talk me through that whole experience. Being in Dubai and fighting Aaron Chalmers, the whole pro debut experience. So, talk to me about how you felt for that.
Of course, bro. Well, the fight with Aaron Chalmers was always a big ask for me because the same year that I fought Aaron Chalmers, he'd he'd just fought Floyd Mayweather.
Hmm.
He just fought Idris Virgo, who was a 17-0 professional boxer, and then he fought me. So it was my pro debut, So it was always a big ask. And the reason why Aaron Chalmers stepped in the first place was because Jack Fincham pulled out.
Mm.
So, Aaron was just there. He was game. He's ready. And I tip my hat to Aaron. He jumped in, and I'd put in months of work, and he saved the show. So I had nothing but respect for Aaron at the time, and I still do now. Even more so now. Aaron's more of a friend, I would say, than an opponent. But the fight as a whole was crazy because not many people know this, but I only actually had one arm in that fight. I'd fully ruptured my left bicep tendon a week before the fight, and
Wow.
I had to put in some special requests to actually get the medical team to pass me. I convinced them that I was still willing to fight, regardless of not really having a jab. And where I am now is a completely different fighter to where I was then. Because respectfully to my coach at the time, Ryan Mack, I didn't really have a full camp as well. I was sort of going in between gyms. I wasn't really, I didn't have a one set coach. I was mixing between MMA styles and boxing styles, which is, you just don't do it with boxing. It's very sports specific. But, you
Mm.
know, I just had a fight in April just gone in Dubai against the Wood Savage. And that camp and then also this camp together, completely different fighter. I've got a coach now, the Boxing Yoda. And, we're in it together now till for as long as, this career is going to last, to
Mm.
be honest with you, mate. But the fight as a whole, fantastic experience. I believe I gave Aaron a good fight. If you put me, it was this 13th or 14th pro fight. If you give me 14 fight camps, I can guarantee I'll be a far better fighter than I am now. So it was a fantastic experience. I learned so much. He put me to the test. He tested my chin, and as far as I'm aware, I came through it all, and I got a heart of a lion, and I'm here today. So progressing my career.
So with the training, because you said that you had limited time in your pro debut, so obviously now with your fight with Joel Frimpong coming up,
Yeah.
how is the difference in being in camps? How has that allowed you to become better as a fighter, knowing that you've only been in the game for this will be your third fight, if I'm correct?
Yeah, yeah, that's right. I don't really think. I feel a little bit sorry for Joel, really, because the only fight that he's got to go off from me recently is that one with Aaron Chalmers. And I'm not saying this just to try and play a mind game. I'm a completely different boxer,
Mm.
and I haven't had the chance to showcase my skills yet. And people can't see exactly how much I've improved because my last fight lasted 40 seconds. So I feel like I've done a bit of a disservice for Joel. I feel sorry for him. I wish that he could have a more recent fight or see more of me how I am today to allow him to actually prepare for what he's in for. But look, this is the fight game. Anything can happen. I'm treating Joel as what Joel is. It's a title fight. I know he's going to come in strong. I know he's fit, but muscles and fitness don't win your fights. It's as simple as that.
They say that styles make fights, right?
Yeah, exactly. But look, we don't really know what style Joe has either. Or Joel has. Sorry, he's not been tested before. He's never fought on the big stage before. So we've got to take the fight cautiously. I think one of the stupid things that you can do for any man is underestimate him. So I'm going to go in there. I'm going to put on a performance. I'm going to tell and prove to everybody that man shouldn't be in there with me. I've told him straight. He had the chance to carry himself professionally through this camp, but he's been nothing but disrespectful. He's run his mouth. He's talking shit, and there's a time and a place to do it, and now isn't the time. So I'm going to send him back to the sports hall arena fights before he's even got started.
So it sounds like there's a little bit of heat between you two. Is that of recently, or ever since the fight got announced, or where are you at in terms of the levels of respect or heat that you got for Joel?
I mean, look, I don't disrespect or hate any fighter, but the turning point for me with Joel was when somewhere in my comments, one of my fans was having an argument with him, and he disrespected this fan's father for passing away. He basically disrespected the dead, and that's not something I take very lightly. I think it's a very evil thought. I think it shows that he's a boy and he's not a man. He has to attack people, stick a knife in the wound where it already hurts for him to get through to people. And I think he's very over emotional. I think the things that he says, he doesn't believe a word that comes out of his own mouth. And I think starting to fight me is the worst thing that he's done this year. I'm going to break every single bone in his face. I'm going to do it to the people that have lost their fathers in this world and the people that he's disrespected. Because the one thing that you don't do, any God-fearing man especially, is disrespect the dead. And there's one thing that I will never also do, and that's go as far as disrespect somebody's family, disrespect somebody's parents, wife, girlfriend, anything like that. I don't need to get into someone's head that much because I want to somehow decrease their fighting ability on the night. The way that I carry myself as a fighter is I want him in there at his best because I want to beat him at his best. Come in, fresh off the camp, no niggles, no pains, no excuses. I'm going to beat the best version of you. That's my mindset. His mindset is I'm an idiot. I don't think he's very intelligent. That's one thing for certain. And everything that comes out of his mouth is a lie. And that's it. He'll carry it throughout his whole camp, his whole career. But that's my only reservation. Again, nothing personal against Joel, but I think this is the worst thing he's done in his life is sign to fight me.
Well, I mean, the build up for this fight, I mean, obviously this is for the CFN TV title, which you already had a taste at when facing Aaron Chalmers. Obviously going in, this is a title fight. You've had that experience before. So how mentally will you get yourself in the zone knowing that it's for the title and also, everything that you've just been talking about regarding Joel, like how are you going to get in the zone to, potentially get the win?
Mate, it's difficult, because he looks like he works at fucking Costa. Do you know what I mean? He looks like a barista and then a PT in the evening. There's zero of him that intimidates me. There's nothing that intimidates me. And that's one of the hardest things as a fighter. I prefer to have some sort of feelings of intimidation, but he's the least imitating guy I've ever seen or ever come across in my life. And that's just it. But again, we have to put ourselves in this scenario where we're imagining that we're fighting Floyd Mayweather. We're imagining we're going in there fighting the best version of a champion. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't disrespect any man that wants to get in the ring and fight. But this kid in particular, I just don't think he's a very nice kid. I think he's, I think deep down he's just not a nice kid and needs to be taught a lesson. Simple as that.
Well, switching gears a little bit. I mean, I know that you're good friends with Andrew Tate, and I know that you've trained together previously before. I mean, what's it like in terms of training with him? I know there's been a lot of footage of him, body sparring, but how do
Mm.
you see him as a fighter?
Andrew Tate is he's his own man. A lot of
Mm.
people ask me this about him. I class him as a brother. I class him as a friend. I probably speak to Tristan more than I do Andrew. In fact, no, I do speak to Tristan more than I do Andrew. Andrew is an extremely busy guy. There's not a single podcast, radio station, TV station that doesn't want a piece of the Tate. So you know, Andrew as a fighter, I think he's a little bit underestimated. Really, I don't think he gets the credit he deserves. He's a three-time kickboxing world champion, and when he became that, he wasn't the man that he was today in terms of his level of fame. And I really appreciate what he's trying to do for the youth of today. He's trying to make young men strong again, make them stand on their own 2 feet, be competent, confident, capable, provide, protect, do what masculine men should have done. But the world seems to have lost itself a lot these days, and I think Andrew is a fantastic beacon for strength. And regardless of some of the controversial things that he's intentionally said to give him the platform that he's got today, I think you know, as a fighter, he's a fantastic fighter, but he's also a fantastic role model as well. He's got a very relaxed style when he boxes, and people see him body sparring a lot, but they miss the fact that if you put Andrew into full contact sparring, he's very much there. His head movement is judging for ability to judge distance and to piece up his opponents. That's why they call him the Cobra, right? Because he snaps like a cobra. He's just relaxed, incredibly strong, and yeah, that's it, man.
Yeah. If we were to ever see Andrew come into the influencer boxing space, would there be any particular person that you would like to see him face, if it ever were to happen?
Yeah, do you know what? This is a big question. As I said, Andrew is his own man. Andrew will do what Andrew Tate wants to do at the end of the day. If he wants to fight, he'll fight. If he doesn't, he doesn't. I'd love to see someone, like maybe KSI, Logan Paul, someone like that against Andrew, because those boys have been running their mouths over the years, and Andrew is in a different hemisphere when it comes to fighting, with these guys. But I'd love him to demonstrate that. But look, I don't think he needs to as well. There's the flip side of the coin. What amount of money are they going to pay him that he hasn't already got? His
Mm.
his value goes far beyond money. You need to give him something else. There needs to be something else in it for him. But look, Andrew will do exactly what he wants to do. He's the top G, and that's it.
Mm. I heard in an interview that you did some training as well with Salt Pappy last year. It seems that you're cool with him as well. Did you see his
Mm.
recent fight with Amadeus Ferrari?
I did, brother. I was ringside. Yeah,
Oh,
Salt
okay.
Pappy.
I missed you there because
Yeah.
I was there too, so I didn't see you
Oh,
around. My
really?
bad. Yeah.
Yeah, you might have seen me in the Versace t-shirt flying around.
Okay. Looking fly as
um,
you want to be.
yeah, yeah. But Sol Papi's cool, man. He's a cool kid. He's Filipino as well, and I'm half Filipino, so I see him as a brother. Really likable guy, and yeah, fantastic fighter. I We all knew what Ferrari was going to do going into that fight. We all knew he was going to come and dive bomb in and try and find one big knockout punch. But this is it, man. A boxer's always going to beat a street brawler. It's the way that it is. You put a street brawler in a boxing ring, they don't stand a chance, And Salt Pappy proved that. I think Salt could have done a better job with picking him off in some aspects because I think he got a little bit too involved with the scrap. He
Mm.
could have, got his footwork going. But look, he still whooped his ass. He made him quit, take nothing away from Salt Pappy. He's an absolute legend, and that's just whenever I look at a fight, I always try and see how they can do things better for my own personal benefit. It's nothing against them as a fighter. I'm just very analytic.
Yeah, because I know that you had some background in MMA. You had MMA fight, was it a couple of years ago?
That's right. That was actually last year. Feels like it was years ago.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but
time's going so fast at this point.
it does, brother. And this is what I was saying about the Aaron Chalmers fight. Is I just had an MMA fight. That was the last fight that I'd had. So I went from an MMA camp training jiu-jitsu, judo, kickboxing, and then straight into a boxing camp. But I was training in a boxing class at an MMA gym, and then flipping
Mm,
between that to a boxing gym. So my camp was all over the place, you know.
yeah, so mixed up.
So yeah, yeah,
So, I mean, because I was just thinking fantasy booking, if you will. I don't know if you might entertain the idea because you've done MMA. Amadeus Ferrari has also done MMA. He's coming to
yeah,
boxing. You're coming into
yeah.
boxing. Would a fight between you two something that you would entertain?
I mean, Ferrari is like a dream style to me. You know,
Mm.
I'm uh, I'm a fantastic counter puncher. I've got very good timing. I mean, you seen in my last fight, I timed a right hook off the back of a double jab right hand clinically, and it's something that it's a skill that I've learned through fighting with the best and the baddest in the training camps. People don't know the extent of the fighters that I've been fighting. You know, in these camps, I've been getting the head slapped off me, and I've been learning the right way, which is the hard way. You know, so someone like Ferrari would be a dream fight because he's just stocky, aggressive, just comes in swinging like a loose madman. I'd pick him apart. So I'm not saying no to that. I'm not saying yes to it. If the fight was right and then the money was right and the timing was right, yeah, I'd smash him to bits. Why not?
Mm. So, I mean, of course, obviously, your focus is on Joel Frimpong for next week for the CFN TV title. I mean,
Mm.
what would you see? Not looking past Joel, but where do we see your future in this space? Like, are you looking to, keep defending the title should you win, and you go on within CFN to, do more events? Like, what's the future looking like for you?
Of course, brother. I'll be honest. There's some things that I can't disclose right now, but the future's looking bright. We're working
Mm.
on some fantastic projects now, and yeah, I think it's going to be huge. Over the next few years, even this year and next year, I'm going to be incredibly active. You're going to see me fight at least 4 or 5 times a year. Big fights on the big stage, and the only way is up for me, brother.
Mm.
So Joel Frimpong, sorry, mate, but you're just a stepping stone. That's one of the hard things about this career, isn't it? Really, you've got to smash people to bits to get to where you want to be. But that's just the game. It's ruthless.
I mean, what's weird about this situation is actually my name is Joel as well. So every time you say that about Joel, I'm thinking, is he talking about me? Is he talking about him? So I'm just like lost in the shuffle right now. But I'm trying so hard to figure. I know that you're talking about Joel Fringpong, but that's my name as well, my first name. So I'm freaked out a little bit.
I know. I can see your name in the bottom corner of the screen there.
So I mean, like, yeah, if there's two Joels in the building, like you know who you're focusing on as far as your fight. It's not me because I'm just the
well,
host here.
if I'm being honest with you, brother, I'm sure you'd give me a better fight than he's going to give me.
Uh,
So,
I'll happily bow down and bow out for that one because boy, like I'm just doing my job as a host and that's what I'm trying to do. Uh, well, Warren, it's been an absolute pleasure to chat with you. I'm looking forward to your fight next week with Joel. Is there anything you want to tell your fans out there, and what fans can expect from this fight, and any final messages you got for Joel?
yeah, I'd say before the fight starts, don't go and make yourself a cup of tea because you might fucking miss it. That's all I'm going to say for next weekend. But if you'd like to give me a little follow, it's at the mechanic on all social media platforms, and you're going to see a lot of me over the next few years, brother. And thanks for having me.
I appreciate that. Is there going to be like content that you're going to bring out as well? Final question, like in terms of like vlogging the whole experience or content in general that you're going to put out there. Is that the vibe that you're looking at now as well?
Of course, brother. Yeah, I've got a YouTube which I've just started uploading vlogs to full size vlogs, which is a real insight to how my training camps go and what I get up to, the types of training that I do, the style that that I've adopted and worked on. So you can get that on YouTube as well. But yeah, absolutely, brother. Content is key. I wanna show my fans exactly what I'm doing. To hopefully light the way for the youth. You've got to find a way to give back somehow, and that's what I see.
Mm.
I see YouTube as a platform to give back, but also when we're old and frail and it's all said and done, we can flick back through the highlights, flick back through the diary, and look at how far we've come and be grateful. You know.
I certainly do that on a regular basis. Well, Warren, again, absolute pleasure to speak to you, bro, and I will see you hopefully at some point next week.
Thanks for having me, brother. I'll see you soon. Thanks, Joel.
All right, take it easy, man. Peace.